Parking problems for both visitors and homeowners in Riverside looking for an open spot. The fight to find an unoccupied space already causing damage between the community and visitors.
Well, Friday and Saturday night it gets a little out of control.
Out of control in a tight spot. Riverside residents and those stopping in for a bite to eat or to do business struggling to park their cars.
It's an area that seems to be bursting at the seams, and now more people say they're finding parking tickets on their windshield at night. The trouble area is at King Street between College and Park, and that's where we find Channel 4's Scott Johnson. Scott?
Mary, it gets packed down here. Look right here. See where I parked our news van? That's the only spot we could find. Everything else was taken. And you know what? It's Monday night. Imagine Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Down these side streets, they get packed too, but a lot of the people are parking illegally. That's why there's a crackdown and a lot of tickets being written. It's a slow Monday night in Riverside, and still there aren't a lot of open spots on King Street.
Other nights it's bumper to bumper. They block your driveways. They play loud music.
In the decade Carol Matillo has lived nearby, she has seen parking overflow from King down her street and continue getting worse. So the city is now starting to aggressively ticket cars not legally parked. Are you happy that they're ticketing?
Well, that's something, but the planning council should have thought more about parking before they decided to let all the businesses expand.
It's particularly bad on Friday and Saturday nights when cars often block driveways or park in grass.
Right now they're focusing on people parking where there are no spots. I know they're talking about striping places, they're talking about a lot of different things, but for now they're trying to prevent people from blocking driveways is the main thing.
Steve Flores owns the restaurant Kickbacks and is on a city committee to look at the parking issue. He says only recently has the city started requiring parking spaces for every new business to go in, but for years that hasn't happened, and now locals are paying the price.
It started, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah. It's a committee that the city had a study done, and the results of the study is, there are things that can be done in the neighborhoods to help the neighbors get along with the businesses and in terms of parking. And one of the things is to prevent people from parking illegally and blocking driveways and parking in yards and doing all sorts of things.
And that guy's business, Kickbacks right there, they're expanding. That's the expansion of their business right there. One of the rules to expand is they had to build a parking lot with 33 spaces to accommodate all the new customers. That's a new regulation, wasn't in place in years past for a lot of these businesses that went in who didn't have to put in a parking lot with it. We're live in Riverside, Scott Johnson, Channel 4, the local station.
Boy, Scott, anytime you go to Riverside, it sure seems like those parking spots are scarce. Any word how much the tickets are?
I tried to call the city. They're closed because of the holiday. I know the parking tickets in downtown Jacksonville usually run around $15. We don't know if they're the same here or more, but they did remind me that it's not just ticketing here, it's also towing. If you are blocking a driveway, they're enforcing that. But some residents say they're not happy because it takes roughly an hour to get the tow truck here, so it doesn't solve their problem entirely. Back to you.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem all the way around. Scott Johnson reporting to us live from Riverside.